Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 69 of the Essential Zodiac Podcast. I'm your host, Cynthia McNulty.
And I'm Audrey Famine.
Today, we'll be talking about the Virgo new moon. But first, be sure to check out all the new specials I have on my website. Now, tomorrow is the last day to order your solar return for all you August babies. And beginning September 1st, all you September birthdays can order your solar return under current promotions. So the new moon occurs as the moon aligns with the sun in the sign of Virgo, a time of new beginnings. This new moon presents an excellent opportunity for us to formulate some goals regarding all things Virgo. We'd do well to concentrate on new ways to get our day-to-day life organized. We might think about the key words for this particular and earthly sign, such as analytical, intelligent, reserved, critical, helpful, conscientious, and consider ways to enhance, develop, or incorporate these traits into our personalities. The new moon in Virgo is an excellent time to commit to personal goals that express the positive energies of the sign of Virgo. These include building our powers of healthy, constructive discrimination, rolling up our sleeves and getting down to some serious work, beginning a new project that requires attention to details, making lists, actively ticking off completed activities, and taking pride in our little accomplishments. Starting a health regime, researching nutrition and nourishment, and paying attention to our diet. Setting up specific routines that will help us manage our lives in constructive and mindful ways. We're ready to make something special of our work, routines, or tasks. It's a powerful time to transform our jobs, health, self-care programs, and habits. We're filled with innovative, inventive, and unusual ideas. There can be some roadblocks to manage, largely related to the responsibilities to others or to our spiritual or mental health, but we're determined to start fresh.
Something just kind of came up, which is really odd. And I don't know if it's just sort of instilled that whole sense of newness, at this time of year, when we're getting close to the harvest, I guess. But, maybe it's just instilled in us from going to school. School starts at the beginning of September, right?
Right. It's interesting, isn't it? It's our agriculturally based society. It was like everybody could go back to school and relax after the harvest, right? So you were, in a way, starting something brand new. You finished your planning for the season, and so now you were moving on to something else. And I think when we look at when the new moon occurs, which is, at the waning ends of summer, we still have time. We still have time to get our goals in place, but it might require us to do it in a different way. So if you've been working on something since the spring equinox and it really hasn't come to fruition, or it's really not at a place where come the fall equinox, you're ready to harvest, now's a time. Virgo can give you a time to be discerning and maybe to restart, or if something you've put aside might be a time to restart it while you still have some growing time left before, the tides change and then we're in the time of contemplation. So Virgo being an earth sign ruled by Mercury, it's the intellectual side of Earth. So it's like the thinking. It's like, how can we rework the work we've been doing? And, sometimes it's a matter of just saying to ourselves, not now. Maybe next year, put it aside, look at it again at the spring equinox. But every month we do, even though the time of year or the season might lend itself to new beginnings, we always get new beginnings because we always have a new moon. So there's always time to do something fresh. But with Virgo right now, because of its analytical and intellectual properties, it's a good time to rethink work that we've been trying to get done. So I hope that clears things up for everybody. Yes?
Yes.
Now, this new moon is opposite Saturn, so you will feel an enhanced capacity to assess and evaluate the effectiveness of your recent performance. You will not only be able to analyze your own behavior, but also how well the life structures you have put in place into your life are supporting you. You may notice elements of your life you need to shed or temper that have become too limiting. You may also feel overwhelmed by a feeling of being restricted by barriers in your life or overburdened with your responsibilities. If this occurs, make some space and time to contemplate how you can reconfigure things to be more efficient, effective, and emotionally healthy for you. Within relationship dynamics, you may get the feeling that you need to erect clearer boundaries with others in some cases, while in other cases, you may realize that you have been acting too guarded and instead need to open up more. So I'm going to take a short break, and when I come back, we're going to have your horoscopes for this new moon.
Tune in for a new episode of the Essential Zodiac Podcast every other Friday, bringing you updates on the moon cycles and celestial events. We hope you'll share our podcast with your friends and family. Let them know they can find it wherever they listen to podcasts. Episodes are also on YouTube and, of course, on the website at essentialzodiac.com. Back to you, Cindy.
Thanks, Audrey. Okay, so let's get into these horoscopes. Aries. On one hand, the new moon in Virgo is pushing you to reorganize your priorities and bring order to your space. On the other hand, it's asking you to take charge of your overall health and well-being. It's a great moment to create boundaries. Take a step back and practice letting others figure out their path while you figure out your own. Taurus. The new moon in fellow Earth sign Virgo is energizing your creative and romantic sector, Taurus. Focus on incorporating some of your artistic urges into your self-care rituals. Still feeling the slump of nostalgia from Leo season? Remember, the past doesn't define you. Whatever feels good for your soul, continue cultivating that. Your new creative routines will fuel your passions and inspire your next journey. Gemini. It's a quiet time for you right now, Gemini, and things may even feel intensely personal. That's because the moon is moving into your fourth house of family and home, which prompts you to reflect on what you need to feel safe and secure. Beautiful chapters are on their way to you, and all that is required of you is to listen and meditate upon what brings you the most joy when alone in the sanctuary and solitude of your own home. Cancer. Keep your wits when it comes to communicating right now, Cancer. You may be noticing hiccups during Mercury retrograde's shadow period. So it's important now, more than ever, to think logically and avoid being overcritical of others. This Virgo new moon invites you to practice rituals centered around your vulnerabilities and sensitivities alike. Observe and provide a lending ear, yet be mindful of not taking anything too personally. Leo, the Virgo new moon is pushing you to address your spending habits, Leo. Uh-oh, this is yours truly. But it's also reminding you of your self-worth. Remember to practice self-compassion right now. You may also want to review your budget and establish financial boundaries. That lavish floor mirror you saw on TikTok can wait. Remember, the sky's the limit and there's enough to go around for everyone. An abundance mindset begins by focusing and practicing gratitude for what you currently have. That's good advice for us all. Virgo, this lunation is a super transformative one for you, Virgo, especially since you spent the last season in your head. Now you're putting all the revelations, feelings, and hopes into action. That does come at the expense of noticing some habits that might be holding you back. Pay attention to what you're obsessing over and what you're overthinking, and instead, remember to keep things simple. Your biggest commitment must always be to yourself. Libra, you're taking a step back to unpack some personal baggage, Libra. You're all about your social life, but the new moon is helping you to see the value of being solo too. It's a powerful moment to slow down and try to understand your thoughts and emotions from a practical lens and appreciate the strides you've made. You're evolving, learning, healing, growing, and discovering yourself all at once. It's about to get magical when you start paying attention and develop your inner peace. Scorpio, the Virgo new moon is reminding you that it's okay to lean on others for support, Scorpio. You may find your friend group expanding or show up for your loved ones in an entirely new way, like taking on the cheerleader role in addition to the keeper of secrets. It's more than okay to pick yourself first and to begin anew with ambitious goals, but it's also a precious gift to share your wisdom with those you hold dear and true. Sagittarius, the Virgo new moon may be tempting to put all your eggs in one basket, risk it all, and completely switch careers. But rather than jumping in without any regard to the consequences, I suggest you have patience with the process. Protect your energy and map out your must-haves when searching for and defining your next vocational aspirations. The key to achieving your empire is reminding yourself it's a marathon, not a sprint. Capricorn, fellow Earth sign Virgo is inspiring you to explore outside of your comfort zone, prompting you to change your perspective on values or identities you may hold dearly. Whether you're adopting new philosophies or exploring somewhere new, this new moon is helping you broaden your horizons. This quest starts with understanding that you don't have anything to prove. Your worth begins with you and your essence, and all of your accolades are special rewards. Aquarius, radical changes are afoot, Aquarius, but the biggest lesson you'll learn is how to balance your advocacy for others versus self-advocacy. It's okay to be selfish, especially when it comes to self-care and improvement. This lunation is reminding you that in order to help the greater good, you have to work on yourself. The world's problems won't be going away anytime soon. Isn't that the truth? So build your own sanctuary and find your inner peace. Pisces, your relationships are in the spotlight right now, Pisces. Virgo's practical lens is giving you the foresight to separate your relationship from your romanticism of it. You and your sister sign Virgo have a tendency to hold others to impossible standards. So this is a good moment to break down those walls and to come to terms with what's real. During this earthly lunation, you learn to heal your own heart and create your own joy in the realm of your relationships and beyond. Spiritual bliss and guidance will soon enter your life, and that alone is worth all of your past losses. So that ends today's episode. Our next episode is about the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, and that will air on September 13th. I hope you tune in. And remember, with astrology, you can chart your life's course.
Thanks for joining us for today's episode of the Essential Zodiac Podcast. Please like or follow us wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a note in the comments. When you do that, it helps more listeners find Cindy. Visit EssentialZodiac.com to check out Cindy's current promotions, including the solar return reading for those of you with birthdays this month. Those readings are very interesting. There's like a sneak peek into what the coming year holds for you. And of course, you can also find the Essential Zodiac on Facebook, Instagram, and X.